So I'm sitting today with the ownership and the CEO of Sunset Recycling, and it's very interesting to me to watch your evolution. So your family's been here for multiple generations. On one hand, it's on the Golosky side, but if you go back on your Indigenous side, even longer, right? Like a part of this community. So my question for you, Jonathan, and a guy in your position, why are you reinvesting in the community? Not just with, keeping the legacy of your grandfather's business with Sunset, but all the businesses.
With growing up here over the years, you can see the expansion and the growth that's been here. So it's always nice to be able to try and add more to it. What can we do more for the city around more?
You have no intention of leaving. You're raising your two boys here. So like, what, you can go anywhere you want. Why do you stay here?
It's home. Everything that you have is here. My oldest son's playing baseball. He starts in the spring here again for a second year. All the different sports teams, all the different activities for them. A lot more things to do with them.
Matt, you're got a recycling background. You're an engineer. I find engineers very complicated. Like you're like super genius, but then super weird simultaneously. Why have you decided to kind of invest in Sunset?
I think the fit was right from day one. It's kind of a medium-sized company, but it's family owned, which is nice, and they trust you to do a good job. So if you show them you're capable, they'll trust you. Also, a growing company was important to me. I wanted to help a company grow. It was exciting to hear about some of the ideas that they had, and with the expansion into Boyle and working trying to get outside of just Fort McMurray, still servicing Fort McMurray, but growing to other areas of Alberta. I really liked that. That's what drew me there.
What's it like working for an Indigenous company?
Well, it's a little bit different than working for another company. They're really focused on the land, making sure that we're responsible in what we do. There's a real emphasis on making sure that we're leaving the land better than when we got to a site or a project.
You've been in surrounded by business your whole life, right? What's it like watching your grandfather and all of his multiple ideas that he's 76 and trying to keep up. How have you done that for so many years?
It's been inspiring to be able to really see, and on a personal side, it gives you, that strength and ability to try and grow and learn every day.
Matt, as now that you're the big cheese at Sunset, where's your vision take us in the next 5-6 years?
It's called Sunset Recycling. It's not called Sunset Scrap Metal. So I know that we've focused on scrap metal historically, but expanding to different product lines, whether that be HDPE, plastic recycling, tires, conveyor belt. If it's recyclable, I think we want to get into it.
Explain how Boyle works, because I know there's a rail spur.
To begin with, it's already been operating as a transfer for our scrap metal to be transported by rail.
Yeah.
So we have rail spur that has a 12-car capacity currently. We're opening to the public on April the 7th to receive scrap metal from citizens. We've already been receiving scrap metal from corporations. So starting off as receiving scrap and operating as a scrap yard, where we haven't utilized some of the buildings on site. I think there's definitely potential to, whether it be a transloading, we have a ton of space. So if it's transloading other materials, there's the possibility to expand the rail, to partner with, CN, do rail car storage. There's a ton of different opportunity.
So one of the things that I'm also very impressed with, as I know that your family's just purchased this machine that grinds HDPE pipe, and there's like so much of it here. So I guess, Matt, tell me about that machine and what's Sunset planning on doing with it?
Yeah, so we've run a number of tests to take HDPE pipe and kind of downsize it into chips and shredded product. What that does is, it cleans up the site. HDPE pipe is kind of, I think, historically a nuisance product. Nobody really knew what to do with it. So historically it's been either sent to a landfill or just piled on sites. What we want to do is have more of almost a circular economy within, the regional municipality of Wood Buffalo, taking that HDPE pipe, grinding it up, and eventually remanufacturing products.
Tell me about your other businesses. So the ones that you're personally kind of running right now?
So we have our Tempo Sea Station and gas station, as well as 4G Liquor as well. We just opened up the liquor store just over a year ago. We have Legacy Truck Wash, and we're currently expanding into doing some other things besides just washing trucks. So 4G Motorsports is our Skidoo and Can-Am dealership. It's expanding hugely as well.
Yeah.
Another major thing we're doing with motorsports as well is we're trying to get away from the idea of, the Fort McMurray extra price for things like that.
Yeah.
We're matching prices, if not beating a lot of prices for Edmonton and other areas.
And I like that. Like when we opened the Tempo, for a while there, we had the lowest prices in all of Alberta. It caused quite the stir. But we've always maintained that we'll make the prices as fair as possible. And you stuck to that. And I think that you actually changed the fuel war situation between Edmonton and here.
Well, it's to be fair and give back to the community is what it needs to be.
Yeah.
And try and get away from that stigma of, the Fort McMurray prices have to be higher than everywhere else.